Hi everyone, this is Pan, and this is my FS504 course project on final oral presentation. So this project is using a Six Sigma method to solve a problem. So we basically break this project into 4 different phases: define phase, measure phase, analyze and improve phase, and control phase. So now let's look at the problem of the project. So in define phase, we define the problem of the project. So the problem of mine was I did not have a healthy diet. The reason was I did not consume enough fruits and vegetables in my daily meal. Because as we all know, fruits and vegetables are known as the great source of vitamins and nutrients which can help us to build up a healthy life. So the consequences of not eating enough sufficient fruits and veggies could actually lead to diseases due to vitamin deficiencies and lack of nutrients in the body. So I started feeling weird with my body, and I started losing focus at work and at school, and I knew that there was something to do with my diet, because apparently I did not eat enough fruits and vegetables in my daily meal. So the goal of the whole project is to have a healthy life by eating at least the sufficient amount of fruits and vegetables, which is about 2 to 3 cups every day. So this data is actually based on the USDA Choose My Plate website recommendation. So this is the problem statement from the define phase, like why am I having problem with my diet, because I started feeling weird with my body. So right now I wanted to improve my diet so that I could have a healthy body. So the next phase of the project is the measure phase. So in the measure phase, I started measuring my daily diet. I checked my daily diet from period of September 21st to October 9th. I checked what I ate every day except for the weekend, due to the reason that sometimes I did not have the control on the options of the food on the weekend, which might cause bias to the data. So that I did not include the weekend diet on the data collection. So as we can see here, from September 21st to October 9th, Monday to Friday, total of 3 weeks. So these are the food items that I ate within this period of time. So I wanted to know what kind of food that I usually eat on weekday, and how much fruits and vegetables that I could get from these food items. And then from the table that where I wrote down all the food items that I ate, and then I constructed the data, the food items into a Pareto chart, as you can see in here. So sandwiches, pizza, and burger dominate the rank of all the food items that I ate within this period of time. And there was one reason that why sandwiches are consumed the most, because there was actually a sandwich cafe where I can grab my lunch the quickest, which is just located across the street of my company. So that could explain why that sandwiches was the first one on the list. So as we can see here, like sandwiches, pizza, and burger, these food items actually contain only a little amount of fruits and vegetables. So by eating a lot of these food items, I would not be able to consume sufficient fruits and veggies every day. So there was another reason that why I was constructing the data into a Pareto chart, because in the next phase, in the improve phase, I could actually see like which food items that I could actually change the preference a little bit by adding more veggie or fruits to the food items that I add the most. Other than having this data from this period of time, I also actually calculated the amount of fruits and veggies that I add. So I wrote down the reason if less than 2 cups of fruits and veggies were consumed in the day, to actually find out what was the reason of not having enough fruits and veggies in my meal. So the same period of time, September 21st to October 9th, as we can see, the reasons here such as busy at work, lack of choices, busy with schoolwork, lack of interest, and such. I also constructed this data to the Pareto chart, as we can see here. So total of 4 different reasons of not eating enough fruits and vegetables. So a lot of time, we can see here the first one was busy at work, because I work at least like 10 hours a day. I usually get anything that was the closest or most convenient to me. And the next one is lack of interest, which means I actually did not choose to eat the fruits and vegetables because I actually chose something else over fruits and vegetables. I just did not have the motivation to actually get something healthy for myself, and which would be a big problem. So the next one was the busy with schoolwork, which means like sometimes after work I get home and I have to do my homework. So after that I would just go to bed. So I did not have time. So most of my time was spent on work and schoolwork. And the last one was lack of choices, which means when actually someone bought me lunch or dinner, in which I did not have the choice to choose what I want. Just like someone brought me pizza, and I was like, no, I want more veggie. In those kind of circumstances. So basically, this explains the reasons why I was not eating enough fruits and vegetables from September 21st to October 9th. And based on the 2 Pareto charts that we just saw, one was this the frequency of the consumption of various food items, as well as the reasons of not eating enough fruits and vegetables. So we actually came out with the root cause was due to the poor time management, because I spent most of the time at work and also schoolwork, and also lack of motivation. And the other root cause was because there was no planning. I did not do any plan for my diet for the next day. So the next step was the phase where I come out with the solution to solve the problems after determining the root cause of the problem and seeing all the data. So the solution that I came out with is to plan a diet plan and increase the amount of fruits and vegetables on the food items that I eat regularly, which we can see on this Pareto chart based on the data collection in the measure phase. So I actually write down each food items on the table and to determine whether or not I could increase the amount of veggie on each food item. So it looks like most of them are no. So there are only 3 food items that I could actually possibly adding more veggies on the food items, which are sandwiches, burger, and bread. So by knowing this, like every time when I order sandwiches, I could actually ask for extra lettuce on it and extra veggies. So other than knowing which food items that I could actually add more veggies in it, I also came out with another solution to combine with this one, is to actually spend more time to plan for my diet. As we all know from the previous slide, we knew that the reasons of not eating enough fruits and veggies are because of the time poor time management, so I actually have to spend just a little bit more time to plan for it. So what I did at this point was I bought an extra veggies and fruit juice in the fridge. Like, they serve as snacks for me, so I will have to make sure that I actually drink extra cup of fruits and veggie juice a day, and also add at least one fruit on top of what I have been eating every day. So in this case, it did not actually alter my eating habit. It's just adding extra to it, which is not that much to do. It's just a cup of juice and also just fruit. And also I actually purchased a big bottle of juice and also fruits on the weekend, so I can actually focus more at school and work on the weekday, so I have enough supplies for the whole week. So I will have to make sure, and which I also did on the weekend, to make sure I purchase enough amount of fruits and veggies and keep them in the fridge. And at this point of the project, I actually measured the amount of fruits and veggie after implementing this solution to see if there's any improvement on the diet. So from the period of November 9th to November 20th, so this is when I started implementing the solution by eating extra veggie on a certain food items, as well as drinking an extra cup of fruit juice and one kind of fruit a day. So at this table, in this table, we can see the amount of fruits and veggies that was from food was this much, about like a cup or quarter cup a day. So I insisted to drink a cup of fruit juice every day. So the amount was 1 cup, and at least one kind of fruit a day, which is about half a cup of fruits and vegetables. So I actually added this amount together, so you could see the total amount of fruits and veggies from the fruit juice and also from the fruit itself is about 2.5 cups in a day. So you could see actually there is a significant increase in terms of the amount of fruits and vegetables. And so what we would do next is we will use the statistics method to actually to see if there's a significant difference before implementing the solution and after, in terms of the amount of fruits and vegetables. So before, these are the data where I collected in the measure phase. I have a total of 15 datas. These are the amount of fruits and veggies that I consume in that period of time. And in improve phase, after I implemented the solution, I also measured the amount of fruits and veggies that I add. I have about 10 different datas that was collected throughout the 10 days of data collection in improve phase. So these are the data, the amount of fruits and veggies after I implemented the solution, which is about 2.5, 1.75, etc., etc. So from here, we're gonna use the t-test statistics to actually measure to see if there's any significant difference before and after implementing the solution. So the null hypothesis of this would be there's no significant difference on the amount of fruits and veggies consumed before and after implementing the solution. So the null hypothesis will be the difference between two means will be equal to 0. So for the alternative hypothesis, there's significant difference on the amount of fruits and veggies consumed before and after implementing the solution, which means the difference of two means will not equal to 0. So by comparing to this value where we get from the distribution table, data distribution table, the test statistic is greater than the absolute value of our test statistic. So we reject the null hypothesis, which means there is significant difference on the amount of fruits and vegetables consumed before and after implementing the solution. So and also we can see in this chart before and after implementing the solution, even though there is a significant difference before and after implementing the solution in terms of the amount of fruits and vegetables, the data after the solution is still not quite meeting the minimum requirement of the goal, which is about 2 to 3 cups of fruits and vegetables. So in this case, I would recommend to actually drink an extra half cup of fruit juice or eating an extra fruit daily to make sure that I am meeting the goal, because the period of the improved phase was not long enough to actually make another changes and another data collection. So this is what I would actually recommend what to do next especially in the control phase, to make sure to get everything back on the right track. So in conclusion, statistically, the proposed solution is effective to solve the problem of this project, which is not eating or having sufficient fruits and vegetables, which could actually lead to a serious health issue in the long term. So in this whole project, we were using the Six Sigma method, which has guided us step by step from defining the problem to coming out with a solution. So in the early phase of the project, we defined the problem, and which is not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and we set the goal, and then we measured the data to track my daily diet to see what my eating pattern is, and to see what are the reasons that why I did not eat enough fruits and vegetables. And we analyzed the data to come out with the root cause and why the trend is like this, and also based on the root cause, we come out with the solution to make improvement to the problem. So the whole project, I have learned especially how to determine the root cause by analyzing the data and make improvement. So the challenging part of this project is to ensure that the solution is sustainable in the long term, because we did not have a long enough period of time to actually get enough data to see if the solution is sustainable in the long term. So my suggestion for future improvement will be, in case of deviation, what kind of action that should be taken in order to get everything back on track. Because this is the things that we should do, especially in the control phase, like things might happen. So what kind of action that should be taken in case of deviation. And I was hoping that we will be able to get more data, spending more time on this project to get more data in order to get like a more solid solution for this project. So this is the oral presentation of my course project. So thank you everyone, and I'm looking forward to your feedback. Thank you.